Hello, my terrific mid 400 students. Here's Dr. A with your week 10 rundown. Hope you all are having a fantastic week and are excited to get into our next phase of the semester and really getting to the heart of teaching with some logistical side of things. So this week we have two activities that I'm going to ask you to pay attention to. First one is on lesson planning, and the second one is kind of to get your creative juices flowing in preparation for a big activity I'm going to tell you about next week. So, lesson planning. What I've done is I've created an interactive lecture for all of you to engage with. I will admit it's a little bit long, but we're getting into the introduction to lesson planning. So what I did is I created a PowerPoint slide presentation with all of the expectations as kind of like the big picture, the overview of lesson planning and my expectations. As you'll see in the video, everybody does lesson planning a little bit differently, so I want to tell you what I do and what I'm expecting you to do and some of the background of that. So what I did is I created this PowerPoint. I then recorded a lecture with me going through the PowerPoint, talking over it, and then I uploaded it to this really cool website called Edpuzzle, which is a resource that I strongly encourage you to become familiar with because it's really helpful for your students and you can do some really cool things with it. So I uploaded this video, and at different points in the video, I have inserted questions that you will have to answer in response to the video. Some are checks for understanding, some are me getting you to think a little bit. So that's what Edpuzzle is really good for. You will have to create an account for that one because that way that allows me to track your responses to all of that. So you're going to see what it's like for a middle level student in this program to create a lesson plan, some of the thinking and the planning that goes into it and the whole process. Then I'm going to ask you to actually start creating a lesson plan. Now this process is really big and really intense, so we're actually going to stretch it out over a couple of weeks, and you're going to engage with your peers to get some feedback. So this is not something I want you to procrastinate on. So you're going to create the beginnings of a lesson plan. I've created a document, lesson planning document, phase 1, I think it's called. And you're going to go through, and it's the first steps in creating a lesson plan. The topic is totally up to you. I encourage you to play to your strengths here. So if you're a math education major and you are really good with probability, play to that one. If you're in social studies and you're a big fan of the American early history, 1700s, play to that. So you're going to find some standards and you're going to dive into this. So you're going to go through and you're going to create a couple of the steps to this lesson plan. Then you're going to share it. You're going to find a couple people in the class to exchange lesson plans with, and you're going to get feedback from at least 2 people. And you're going to take that feedback from your peers and look at your lesson plan and maybe adjust some things. And there's a box in the document for you to explain, this is the feedback that I got. You're going to identify who you got that feedback from and how you are going to respond to it. So do you agree and this is how you're going to change it, or this is how it influenced your thinking in it? Or maybe you say, you know what, I got this feedback from so-and-so, but I disagree and this is why. So it's just asking you to start thinking and start to collaborate with some classmates. So that's the first part. So you're going to watch this video, this interactive lecture. You're going to go through and answer the questions in there, and then you're going to start creating your lesson plan. The second thing I'm going to ask you to do is answer this question. Ready? What would an ideal school be like for you now that you know a little bit more about middle school? Let's say money wasn't an option. Don't worry about that, but focus. How could you make a school that is really responsive to middle school students and their needs? So what I want you to do is be creative with this. Really sit down and take some time to brainstorm. And the format of your brainstorm, what you turn in, is up to you, but I want it to be creative. Please do not give me a Word document with a bunch of bullet points or sentences, just plain text for me to read through with a bunch of different bullet points. Come on, be more creative than that. I want you to really think, and I want you to take some time and maybe work on it for a little while, walk away from it, and then come back and work on it some more. You can turn in any format that you want as long as it's creative. So I'm looking for it to be reflective of what you've learned so far this semester. I want it to show some real effort, and I want it to be creative in your format. So keep that in mind. If you want to talk to me, if you have an idea and you want to check, hey, is this okay? Feel free to reach out to me, and I'm happy to give you a little bit of feedback to see if you're on the right track. I want you to spend an hour or two on this assignment. I want you to be thinking about what it would take to come up with a really cool creative lesson plan or middle school, moving forward for a group of middle school students. So those are your two activities. You're going to watch that video, respond to all those questions on Edpuzzle, and then check out the lesson planning first phase document to start creating your lesson plan. This lesson plan is going to be one of your major assignments for this course when it's all said and done. So spend some time, think about it, get some feedback from some peers, and then of course create a fantastic school brainstorm. That brainstorming is not formal. You don't need to give me all the details. I just want to get your juices flowing. I want you to be thinking and get creative with this. So if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, have a terrific week. Check out all the links below. And there's a new section on the module or on the Blackboard page with resources that you might want to check out as well. But I talk about that in the Edpuzzle video. So have a terrific week. I will talk to you all soon.